didn't realize you had an RDC.
So why is my job?
Good.
I was gonna say something, but yeah, that's exciting.
Why is supposed to get in here?
Yeah. Try working here.
Okay, it is 6:45 PM on April 2nd, 2026. Time to bring this meeting of the Bristol Redevelopment Commission to order. We'll begin with roll call. To my right, Jeff Beachy,
Present.
Kathy Burke,
Present.
Greg Dolsky.
Here.
Dean Renfro is absent this evening. Doug D. Smith is here. Clerk Treasurer, Kathy Antonelli.
Present.
Town Manager, Mike Yoder.
Present.
Town Marshal, Steve Green. And Legal Counsel, Alex Bowman.
Here.
Okay. Approval of agenda. Has everyone reviewed the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Any
Yes.
changes necessary?
No.
No.
If not, the agenda will stand as published. Next item is approval of minutes from our March 5th meeting. Has everyone reviewed the minutes from March 5th?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a
Okay.
motion to approve?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes for March 5th.
A
Okay,
second.
motion by Jeff, second by Kathy, open for discussion. If none, we'll take a vote. Jeff Beachy,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Doug D. Smith is a yes, motion carries. Okay, Mike,
Okay,
it's all you.
I'll take this and then you fill in wherever I make a mistake. We're blank button. Okay, so actually, this is a procedural thing that we need to do that we skipped a couple months ago with the additional appropriations out of the TIF districts to pay for the new street department and some of our water infrastructure and other street projects. And so the first procedure is the RDC has to approve those additional TIF expenditures. So we have a resolution tonight to do that. I think what's missing from the resolution is the new TIF standing tent. Do you have?
Not yet.
Okay, so there's an exhibit. It's not there, and that's what we're asking the attorneys to provide for us, but that's the resolution. I think if you keep going down, you don't have it, but
No.
I did place the additional expenditures in the packet, probably after you downloaded. Exhibit A never showed up.
That exhibit, that's the same one you prepared, right?
Oh, is Exhibit A the,
Just the spending plan.
oh, the appropriation?
No,
report?
this one,
Yeah,
but you said that was the old numbers.
Yeah, those numbers look like the original plan, so we'll double check the numbers.
okay, but yeah, other than what those numbers should be, that's the structure.
That's the structure,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So the numbers haven't changed, we just need to make sure we have the right format on the spending plan to upload the gateway.
They haven't changed from the previous meeting, are you
No,
saying?
the same numbers are there, it's just we have to approve it here before you can approve it as the town council for the additional appropriation. So we can pay our contracts.
All right. Well, with that, is there a motion to adopt resolution R4-2-2026-07?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Okay, motion by Jeff, second by Doug, open for discussion. If none, we'll take a vote.
Well,
Oh, Kathy?
yeah, I don't see any numbers on the one from last meeting in the system.
Yeah, I know, I didn't download the RDC, I'm not sure why that didn't show up here.
It's in the RDC packet now.
Well, you have the regular meeting packet.
Yeah.
Go to that and to the,
Is it on the regular meeting?
yes, down under Kathy's. There. Yep, yep.
It's on the RDC
A,
packet now
it'd be
too.
A, Jeff.
Oh,
Under additional appropriations?
Mhm. There you go.
Notice to taxpayers, is that the one?
Yep. So all of the
Oh.
TIF expenditures in there,
That's not right.
maybe it's not right.
That's not the amended one that I just did. Anyway, it's,
The
it's all
numbers
the
are
numbers
correct.
are all the
The
same.
numbers of it,
I broke down the last line for the RD give back fund. So we'll have one line item that's the 40,000.
Oh,
For,
right there, Ed.
yep, that's the one.
What exactly is a
And
gift
then-
fund?
10,000
Or
for
what's a give back?
our new
What does that mean?
community services assistant.
Oh,
So
so
it's
that's
gotta
what
be
it's spending
specific.
it for. You're asking where the money comes from?
No, I'm asking, what is a give back fund?
Every tax abatement you guys approve, the
Yeah.
value of that abatement each year, I think it's 10% of it gets paid to the town. So if they abate $50,000 of property taxes, the town gets a check for 5,000.
Okay,
Yeah. So it's a give back on the property tax abatement.
It's part of the abatement contract itself, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so the numbers are all correct. That's the same as what we first looked at, what, a month ago, 2 months ago, maybe?
Okay.
And that's the purpose for the money. It's water main, street department, street department, street department.
Any other questions?
Hmm.
Okay, if not, we'll take a vote. Jeff Beachy,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
yes,
Greg Jaholski.
Yes.
And Doug D. Smith's a yes, motion carries. Next on the agenda, Alex.
Nothing for you this evening, commissioners, other than the discussion as we've had.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? If none, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
second,
Motion by Jeff, second by Kathy, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Good evening, everybody. It is 7 o'clock and we will call our Bristol Town Council meeting to order. Today is Thursday, April 2nd, 2026 at 7 p.m. And we will start off with our pledge of allegiance. Let's see. Kathy, will you lead us tonight?
Yes, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Wasn't sure which Kathy.
Either one. But I was looking at,
Way to go,
Okay.
Kathy.
all right, start off with roll call. Start to my left. Doug Smith,
Here.
Kathy Burke,
Yeah.
Greg Dolsky,
Here.
Jeff Beachy is here. Dean Renfro is absent from council. Off to my left, Town Marshal Steve Preem. Here. Legal Counsel Alex Bowman. Here. Fire Chief Nick Cantz. Town Manager Mike Yoder.
Here.
And Clerk Treasurer Kathy Antonelli.
Here.
Okay. So everybody had a chance to review the agenda.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Any changes, corrections, or additions?
I'd like to add the discussion I did before about the homecoming,
Okay.
but I don't know whether you want it under privilege of the floor or what you wanted. I can do it on privilege of the floor.
Or we can just, if you want to do it at your council discussion items,
Oh, I could do it then.
we'll do it then. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any other additions or corrections?
No.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda as read.
Okay. Motion by Kathy,
I'll second.
second by Doug. Open for discussion. No further discussion, like to vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes,
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach, yes, motion carries. Okay. Everybody had a chance to review the bills.
Yes.
yes,
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the invoices?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Doug,
I'll second.
second by Greg. Open for discussion. No further discussion, like to vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
yes,
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach is yes. Motion carries. Okay. We're gonna get in reports, but before we do that, I'm gonna read something that I was given this evening. It's not something we necessarily like to read, but considering the circumstances, this letter is dated March 17th, 2026, addressed to Bristol Town Council from Raymond Renfro, otherwise known as Dean Renfro. Subject is resignation. Please accept this letter as my formal resignation from the Bristol Town Council effective immediately. Due to recent personal commitments and health issues, I am no longer able to dedicate the time and focus that this role demands. It has been an honor to serve the people of Bristol and to work alongside everyone on Town Council. Sincerely, Raymond Renfro. So, for those that don't know, Dean's been dealing with some health issues. Sadly enough, he has to resign this position. So I want to publicly thank Dean for his years of service, not just on council, but to the town, in the street department capacity, and the fire department capacity, and just Dean's capacity. We wish Dean the best. I know he's dealing with a lot of health issues, so please keep him in your thoughts and your prayers. He could use those from all of us.
county as well.
And yes, and the county as well. He served a long time in the county. So what does that mean? I've spoken with the Republican chair for Elkhart County. There will be a caucus at some point in the near future. So we will go through the caucus procedure to find a replacement for Dean. I shared this letter with Courtney. She's our Republican chair, so she will be starting that process. I don't know all the details of it, but I think it's within 30 days that the process has to happen. So that process will begin, and that's how we will find a replacement for Dean. Dean's term on council extends through this year and through 2027. So whoever his replacement will be on council for the remainder of this year through 2027. And then that person's name will be on potentially be on the ballot next year, for the election. So, we wish Dean the best, and, hopefully he'll come up and see us from time to time, so. With that said, I'll jump into reports, so Mike, what do you have for us tonight?
First up, we have sidewalk quotes. If you recall, last meeting and meeting before, we looked at a contract, a quote from Reeve Riley to complete the sidewalk work. And as part of their NDOT project, NDOT indicated it was a fair quote, but we determined that I needed to get 2 more quotes, and I was able to do that. Turns out NDOT is correct. This is a solid, fair quote. We do have one that's about $1,000 less from a separate contractor. My recommendation is we keep it with Reeve Riley, just under one contractor. The town manager will be saner that way than trying to deal with 2 contractors in that area. So I'd recommend you approve the contract with Reeve Riley.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the contract with Reeve Riley for $108,750 for replacement of the sidewalks?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion by Greg,
I'll second.
second by Doug, open for discussion.
Yeah. Did that include the extra 4 feet that we were talking about?
That
That
is
is.
the 4 feet.
That is the point.
That is the 4 feet, but what about the other 4 feet?
That's in Reeve Riley's contract.
That's already in the road contract?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't have that quite clear. Okay,
Reeve Riley has it in their contract from the road to within 4 feet. of the
4
building.
feet, then they're gonna do the other.
And the last 4 feet they'll do as well. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, but I want to make sure.
Any further discussion? Now, take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach is yes. Motion carries.
Next, we're in CF1 season, and our first one is Lippert. Their real estate tax abatement expired last year, but we have one more year on the personal property. And you can see that they have easily met their commitments for this tax phase in.
Yeah. Just,
And then some.
yeah, just
Yeah.
blew by it by 6 times the amount.
So I'd recommend you say that they have, this is what is the term?
Substantially compliant.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, is there a motion to approve the CF1 submittal by Lippert Components Manufacturing?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Doug,
Second.
second by Kathy, open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke, Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Jeff Beach is yes. Motion carries.
You go right by the president's room. That's all right, I'll ask later.
Well, you can ask now.
Well, I was just wondering. That these are usually double checked and everything before we approve them. That's all I want to know.
I looked at them. Does that count as double check?
Not
And then
necessarily.
Kathy looks at, well, you're actually accurate. It's Kathy that does the double checking.
Just
Penalty of the law. They can't lie.
Are there 2 places here, Kathy?
Yeah. Yeah, first and second page,
Okay, because they're
not under the yellow.
not under the yellow?
Nope,
Okay. 'cause
just
it
there
says
on the
sign.
left,
Okay, it
Yeah.
says sign here.
just on that page.
Okay.
All right, ready to move?
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Next, we have a few bills to pay. State revolving fund disbursement number 55 to Phoenix Fabricators for $241,010 with an additional $12,684 to the retainage fund. This is our water tank folks.
Okay. There a motion to approve SRF disbursement. What one was that?
55.
55,
5.
55, the amount of $241,010 with retainage of $12,684.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion by Greg,
I'll second.
second by Doug. Open for discussion.
No.
No further discussion? We'll take a vote. Doug DeSmith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Craig Dolsky,
Yes.
Jeff Beechey, yes, motion carries.
There's 2 pages on this one, so.
Okay,
Next is state revolving fund number, disbursement number 48, for $61,359 to Commonwealth Engineering.
okay, is there a motion to approve SRF disbursement number 48 in the amount of $61,359 to Commonwealth Engineering?
I'll make the,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Second by Greg. Open for discussion. No further discussion. We'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Jeff Beechey, yes. Motion carries.
State revolving fund disbursement number 49, the Crosby Construction for $122,175, with $6,430 to change.
Is there a motion to approve SRF disbursement number 49?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Kathy,
I'll second.
second by Doug. Vote for discussion. No further discussion. We'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Jeff Beechey, yes. Motion carries.
Okay. Now we have several fun project updates with pictures.
See that?
So this is the new wastewater treatment plant. There's a couple pictures that, sorry, I wasn't a great photographer that day, but these are the 3 SDR tanks. And by the way, Jeff, you said you wanted to go out and see this like a
Yeah.
month ago. We need to get out there now, or any of you, I can take you out there and show you what's going on.
Okay,
They started seeding the tanks with our microbes, I believe, today or yesterday. Anyways, this week. So they're pumping some sewage in there and getting the bugs started. I believe they're planning to work with raw sewage sometime next week, get everything started up. The next picture down is our headworks building. So all the raw sewage is pumped to the top of that building, and all the material that, you know, like the flushable wipes that you shouldn't flush are caught there. And you're not flushable wipes. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they plug up the system.
It is. So underneath where the first picture is where we were standing there, underneath is the pipe works built section. This is where all the material flows in and all the material flows out. It's a pretty impressive little thing.
Wow. It is.
Yeah. Then the next picture, so our brand new transformers, that green thing up there. But the interesting thing here is that this tank will be out, gone, filled in. And we're actually enough fill. Jill, does the fill come to the top of the foundation of the blue tank, or about, do you recall?
Where the rocks are about the center of the toe.
Center, that's where the fill. So there's a lot of fill to come in, and that'll be
Lot of
where part of where our new building goes.
So all this will get filled in?
Yeah,
Really? Are they tearing it out or just filled it in?
probably.
It's like filling in a swimming pool.
I'm
Except
sure
not.
the material gets pumped out. I'm not sure how much of the concrete they'll need to pull out.
Okay,
Probably depends on what goes on top of that. The next, why did I include this picture? Oh, this is the Elkhart Street project. So this is coming along really well. They're installing a lateral here. So all the new water main is in, all the laterals are hooked up. The new water main is live. They'll be starting with the drainage. The waste, the drainage, there's actually a stormwater drain on this street.
Okay.
The word will come to me eventually. So that will start. They've, I think I included, they're pulling out all the old hydrants now. If you keep going down, you'll see our brand new entrance to the Charles Street parking lot. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
really, really nice. And we'll have to put on our project list to pave that parking lot soon. And let me see, anything on that? Storm sewer goes in this week. I think that's still scheduled as soon as they get I think they're planning on the asphalt plant opening up around April 14 or 15. This will be one of the projects, so we may be within 2.5 weeks of this being done, which will be hallelujah. for
Oh, yeah.
everybody.
That'll be fast.
Yeah, so fingers crossed, so no promises, but that's kind of,
Because it's mid-block.
what's that?
Because it's mid-block,
Yes, ma'am.
not ours, Mark.
Okay, next I want to talk a little bit about the bridge. Of course, we had this horrific accident last week, and this is the damage to the bridge. It was inspected, and there's no structural issue, but there are some other issues that the county, I assume, will be taken care of. What's interesting is NIPSCO has figured out how they want to, remember, NIPSCO was working on the south side of the intersection last fall, and they finally just closed the hole up because they couldn't figure out how they're going to fix what needed to be fixed. So now they have a plan. We just saw it this week. The county is reviewing the plan. I've asked the question, are you going to need to close the bridge? And have not received a reply yet. But then NIPSCO went on strike or was closed out at 4 o'clock. All the union workers were closed out of the building. Something was going on at
I'm
4.
sure.
So the answer is no, they're not gonna close the bridge.
At least for today, Jeff. But they're going to hang a temporary gas line along this side of the bridge, which I'm not sure if that damage will impact that or not, as they replace the other gas line on the other side.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Are they still planning, the county still planning on building a different bridge instead of widening this? one?
yes, actually, the traffic studies have been, I think MACOG's going to run this, I believe. So yes, they are looking at doing a traffic study to figure out where that bridge will go, where it should go. There is no good place along.
No.
There is no good place. I've suggested, well, no, I don't want I've suggested a place, but in case somebody's listening, he lives there, I don't want to tell them what my suggestion was. There are some other alternatives. They're also looking at, if you recall, years ago, there was a plan to extend Beck Drive all the way through to 15. That would be through the Wilhelm Farm and the Kaufman Farm. Somebody built a building at the end of Beck Drive, so that's not an option, but they are revisiting the option of diverting traffic over to 15 as part of this larger traffic study on how do we handle traffic at this point. I asked them again, are you sure you don't want to make a wider bridge here? And they said, no. This seems like the logical place, and we,
Well, it seems like an awful waste of money to build a brand new bridge somewhere
it'd
that
be a
way.
really expensive bridge too.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah, okay,
That's
moving
county.
on, to more good news. The NDOT project, this is what it looked like on Main Street on February 13th. Every Friday, I'm trying to get a picture. Here's what it looks like this morning, quite a bit of difference. I want to say that I am pleasantly surprised with, go down one more picture. So here's how Reese Riley has been interacting with the town. This is at Key Bank. Key Bank had a problem with the drive-through and the people can't drive through. You drive in and back out. It's not working. So they asked if there was a way that cars could drive off of the sidewalk and then back up onto Charles Street. And so on the left is Melissa Cool. She is the NDOT engineer. On the right is Pat. He's the Reese Riley project manager. And we walked down there, and by the time I got back to the office, Pat said, I've got a solution. So they've been really good to work with.
Good.
And I've been impressed with the speed and how they're moving through this project. But I will tell you that at the contractors meeting on Tuesday, NDOT said they have never had a project that had more problems in the first 2 weeks than this. So this is a problem project for them. And there's already some cost overruns. And they also said, Melissa mentioned that she has never worked in a project that had so many complex traffic movements that they had to deal with food tours. And it makes sense if you think about the roads coming in and going out. So this is a challenge and, but everybody has, I think they've really done their best to mitigate the problems as they arise. But I'll tell you, our downtown folks are hurting for business. That's what we're hearing. So, okay, I bet Joel will talk more about that in her report. Moving down to the next one, our water tower. There's a couple pictures here. That's the bottom of the tank that they're building. Keep going, and there's more pictures. I think I've got one more. So that's the base. It's completed around the bottom. There will be 2 more panels going vertical. And then on top, there'll be another set like that going in. So it will be about 50 feet in the air. From there, it'll be about halfway up the tower when that tank is complete. And there'll be a robot welder working on the next 2 sessions. They don't have a robot welder that can weld on the angle like that, but they do have one that can weld around. And so I understand that'll be on the site next week.
Looks like a big cone of shame.
Looks like a hole in it.
A hole? Where?
Right there.
You mean that little white thing?
Yeah.
All right. Not my project. Sorry, I wasn't keeping up with the pictures for everybody that was online, so I apologize. Wanted to bring you up to date on where we're at with the earthway of Bloomingdale. We have agreed on a price on the property to the left, and we're acquiring that entire parcel. We already have an inquiry for somebody who wants to buy what we don't use. We are very close to an agreement with Cross Trailers to the north, and if I can maybe point here, most all of these driveways are being removed, so that's going to save us some cost. And they wanted some additional money, and I told them we were land rich and cash poor, so I can't do any more cash. So we're looking at moving part of this retention area down into this area. This would be retention area anyways for this site. So we're gonna free up some land for them there. And they seem to be agreeable to that. The only unknown cost factor for us will be the property we're acquiring through eminent domain or taking to the north, the junkyard to the north. And so we are close and close to the budget we thought, but a little bit over because we're buying more land there, but we'll recoup some of those expenses. So any question on my reports or on any other projects?
No.
All right, so I left some time for Jill tonight.
All right, I'm going to start actually with the proclamation. So as we are all aware, Bristol Elementary will be closing their doors at the end of the school season. Some of our local churches have reached out to the town, and working with the counselor and principal to recognize all the students that will be graduating, moving on to middle school, or relocating to a different elementary. So we thought a great way to do that is a proclamation for each child within schools right around under 300. So we actually, Gary Lewis, the pastor at Bristol Community Church, came up with the wording. We worked with the school. The only thing we really changed is at the bottom it says, "Let it be forever be remembered, Pirate for life." So Jeff has signed this proclamation, and about the end of the school year, we will work with them, and if we can get maybe a few council members, Mike and fire and police, to recognize each of these children individually. It might be 2 sessions because they're not sure if we can get kindergarten and first graders to sit through the whole process. But
Just do them first.
yes.
Let them run away.
So we're just appreciative of the town to recognize each of these students. With that being said, April 25th, there is a mini golf they do every year. It's like a fundraiser for the PTO. They still want to continue this event. It's a great turnout for the families. But with this year, they want to allow the community to come in, to walk the halls, especially those who have attended the Bristol Elementary. So with that being said, they're going to move it to a Saturday. Saturday, like I said, April 25th. I think it's going to be noon to 4 time. I'm not 100% sure if that's locked in yet. And we're gonna do food, for the community, so probably hot dogs, chips, but just an opportunity, maybe some photo ops for families, for individuals who have graduated and, would just like to walk the halls one last time. So more information on that, we'll share it on our Facebook page as soon as the school starts to promote that event, so everybody's aware of that. I don't know, like I said, when the proclamation is gonna happen, but the end of the school year, so we just wanted to make sure the council was aware of that. Next, Mike has on the agenda for me to talk about this brick on the floor.
You should
I don't
probably
think-
hold it up.
No. Can you hold it up for me, Mike? while I talk?
Come on, Vanna. So,
Make sure the audio, yeah, the camera.
Brick.
You have to
You know,
do
that
that.
brick.
You have to do
Okay,
that.
so.
$30, it's yours.
$300. So, okay,
Explain why it's
that-
$300.
yeah, so that brick, so once we start to move a lot of dirt with the road, we're like, what are we gonna find? So far, we found brick. But that's pretty exciting in itself. They say the actual brick, there's pieces of brick, but we have to keep the whole brick. So we're not sure what other fun facts are gonna be, but they're going
There
down
was a brick road in Bristol apparently at one point.
There was
That's what it
a
looks like.
brick of some sort.
Not that I know
There was a brick.
of. Linda, you don't know
Was
anything.
there a
Is it
brick
back that
street?
far?
I
don't know.
Oh,
There
so
were
we
brick-
just found a junkyard. Somebody dumped some old.
There were brick buildings.
There was a big brick cylinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cylinder over where Charles and Vistula was. And the state hurried really, really fast to cover that up because it was historic and they didn't want to have to deal with that. Now, I have some bricks from that. I mean, Gary had them.
So our
I didn't do
co-founders
it. Gary
did lay the street with brick. That was gonna be my
There
story.
goes that story. Yeah.
No, we didn't,
So
no, we didn't have brick.
as we continue to find fun facts, we'll share it with everybody.
Okay.
So, but the NDOT workers did tell us it's about $300,000, the value of that brick.
Yeah.
okay,
So if anybody's interested, just let us know.
okay.
If NDOT wants it, they can give us that.
And I said, you still handed it over to us. That's impressive.
Gee.
All right. So downtown activities, we have a lot of fun events happening. We'll start with the hometown summer nights right there. So the third Friday, June, July, and August, we are going to do an event for the community, more specifically to help our downtown businesses. We're not going to have food trucks or anything like that. We want people to come in here and eat at Chicago's, eat at the Redbird, eat at Subway. Visit all of our businesses. I'm going to reach out to Electric Pineapple, T&B, the auto parts stores, see what they want to be a part of that. We really want to encourage people to come out, have a good time, and visit our businesses. So our first night will be June 19th. With the construction, each of these events are going to be held in similar locations, but the first one, we're not able to have it at our Main Street parking lot because our house is having a performance. So we have a wonderful neighbor who lives next door to us here at the municipal complex that is willing to open up her lawn and our space for the band and for the, all those to come and have a good time. So we will continue to let people know where these events are going to be held. The second one, we're planning on our Main Street downtown parking lot. And then hopefully the last one could potentially be in our Opera House. But again, with the road construction, we're going to be a little flexible. Parking, we will continue to let people know where the parking spaces are going to be for each of these events as well. So free event, entertainment, fun for the family, activities, and just a good time. So we will continue to promote this event and work with our businesses on whatever kind of sales promotions they want to be running those evenings. The second is our farmers market. So we're about a month out. I don't think you have any for that.
Okay,
We're about a month out. It starts May 7th, which is a Thursday evening. Every other Thursday, May through September, we're going to do the farmers market 4 to 7 at 301 South Division Street, which is just south of our Bristol Community Church. So right now we have 11 vendors. They're all unique, different, not selling the same thing. And a good chunk of them, I think 3/4 of them are seasonal. So we know at least every week those vendors are gonna be there. So we're excited about that. We're gonna have jewelry, we're gonna have smoked food, we're gonna have ice cream. We are, I'm trying to go back to my memory. Sourdough, baked goods. I still need produce. Anybody out there? I need produce vendors. So a good variety of vendors at each of these events. So more to come to that. We can have up to 15 vendors and we're about halfway there. So room for more vendors. The other thing I just want to let council know, at our last meeting, we asked for a commitment letter for electric vehicle. We're from NACOG in Dry Clean, Indiana, on submitting for 2 EV vehicles. We are going to turn our application tomorrow for 2 Chevy Silverado work trucks, one for a police department, one for a wastewater treatment plant. It's gonna be a 25% match. The total cost for the whole project, that's vehicle, the uplifting, the infrastructure as in the electric and the charging stations. It will be around $135,000. Our match were about $26,000 if we're awarded this opportunity. So in the next few months, we should know if we're approved or if it's gonna be denied. So I just wanna let you guys know, we'll get that turned in tomorrow. I think that's it for me.
Great.
Thank you, council. Do you have any
Thank you, Jill.
questions?
Any questions for Jill?
Nice job.
Thanks for all your hard work on
Yes.
all of this, Jill, to keep our businesses open and trying to keep them busy.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody have questions for Jill or Mike?
No.
Okay, if not, yeah, what do you have for us tonight?
We're going back to our additional appropriation. We presented this about a month ago and there were some changes on Gateway, so all of the information is the same, aside from one tweak to the last line, just to break it down a little bit more. The dollar amount is still the same, so additional appropriation for projects in those various funds for those various projects, $1,629,134. I'm asking for permission to submit this to Gateway. We will have a second reading then and approval at the May 7th meeting.
Is there a motion to grant the clerk treasurer permission to publish notice on taxpayer to Gateway and advanced ordinance 5-7-2026-18 to second reading?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Doug,
I'll second.
second by Greg, open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolphy,
Yes.
Jeff Beechey, yes, motion carries. Okay.
Thank you. Next, we have a salary ordinance amendment. This is salary ordinance number 4-2-2026-9. We have 3 changes on here. One is for a new officer, and Steve may want to speak to this a little bit. But we have a returning officer, Garrett Poff,
He's not new.
new-ish.
Newish.
So we're adding him to the salary ordinance in the place of Jake Laskowski, who is no longer with us.
Okay.
Then we have an additional part-time or seasonal employee, seasonal community services assistant. This is one of the Northridge students that Jill took on to help her with all the activities that are going on. And that's going really well for her. Yeah. And then the third is adding a seasonal employee to the street department for help with mowing this summer. That will be split between the 3 departments, MVH, Park, and Cemetery, adding $25 an hour for that.
Okay.
So I am asking if we can please suspend the rules and approve on first reading.
Okay. Or a motion to approve suspending the rules and approving on first reading. Salary ordinance 4-2 2026 9.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Doug,
I'll second.
second by Greg, open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke. Oh, did you have a question?
They knew it.
I thought you said no. All right,
Fast enough.
I know, I just
have a question, why a non-exempt, a seasonal employee, a non-exempt is 18 and a part-time is 25.
Oh, the 25 was 21, so those are placeholders that have been there in case we find someone, or just so we have a place there for a part-time employee.
So they're both
No, there's only,
non-exempt,
yeah,
part-time,
I think it's not even
It is
part-time.
not exempt part-time, yes.
but
they're
both amounts?
No,
It's a range.
it's a range, yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's a range. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense now. Okay, sorry.
So I know, I found somebody for streets that it's not high school, it's not college, he's 55 years old, grew up on a farm, worked for me on the farm, management positions elsewhere, and he's spends these winters in Florida managing a hunting preserve with his hunting dogs and going
Okay.
hunts, and he wanted some work in the summer, so he can drive anything we got, and I don't think he'll be tearing stuff up, and I'm pretty sure he shows up every day to work. Oh,
The only-
when we want him.
The only thing I would change is to say that's a range.
Oh, just
On
like
here.
put a hyphen behind there, and
Yeah.
maybe we should just
Yeah.
eliminate the one and just put it in for what it is.
Well,
I mean, everybody-
range.
every time
We've
we
had
hire
ranges
somebody-
before on these things.
And we eliminated
Yeah, we
those.
eliminated.
Yeah.
We can do that.
I mean, I just was looking, you had one highlight, and that surprised. Okay, I'm done.
okay.
Gosh,
Kathy Burke.
What?
What?
I knew I'd get you with that one. Yes.
Greg Telesky.
Yes.
Jeff Beechey, yes, motion carried.
Pretty well known.
Okay, now, is there a motion to approve salary ordinance 5-7 2026? No, wait,
We just did that.
salary, no, we
Oh,
suspended
that's
rules.
right.
There a motion to approve on first reading,
I make that motion.
salary ordinance 4-2 2026 9.
I'll make that motion.
Motion
again.
by Kathy,
I'll second.
second by Doug, open for discussion.
If I could make one point, clarity of the record, we talked about adding a hyphen to that language. A dash or something to help clarify that last table. Does the council wish to make a record, they'll adopt it as amended?
Oh, to show a rate.
Oh,
18
to eliminate that.
$18-25.
How do you want that to,
I make a motion that we
As
accept it
amended.
as amended. Is that right?
As long as the council knows what it's voting on, then yeah.
I'll note that. I'll note it.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion by Kathy, second by Doug, open for discussion. Any further discussion? Now we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Telesky.
Yes.
Jeff Beechey, yes, motion carries.
Thank you, council.
Okay,
I've had a long day today.
Steve,
Like follow up on Kathy, comments, we hired Garrett Pop, I started yesterday, which was fitting, but April 1st. He was here for a couple of years, then left to go to Napanee for a couple of years, and now he lateraled back, he's gonna be, he is a good hire for us. He
Good.
knows the area, fit in well, he'll be a good addition to our department, brings some experience, so. He started yesterday, got sworn in. Then just a little bit about the traffic. We're trying, the police department with the construction and all the detours, everything, we're trying to do high visibility. We've been making a lot of traffic stops, mainly with trucks, semi trucks. It's kind of a learning process for them. we're not really writing, I mean, we have cited some violations, but we're trying to do more of a, like I said, a learning for them. I noticed the biggest problem for me is the detour. When I've stopped probably 20 trucks in the last couple of days. They're all following their GPS. They do not read the signs and the GPS according to NDOT is, they can't like post it there. So like it's not part of their GPS. So we're working with them. But you'll see a lot of police, hopefully downtown area, trying to just guide people in the right direction. I've noticed quite a bit of comments about the left turn on the division from Bristol and then the left turn going up on Montville Road. I won't say trying to be lenient with that, just once again, it's a learning process, but if somebody's turning left there and they don't have an arrow, it does plug up traffic, so we're working with NDOT to try to find a solution to that. I suggested putting the lights on flash like they did down here, because this worked pretty well. They gave me about 20 minutes that didn't work, so I'm done fighting that battle, so I'll defer to them on that, but,
I think Dustin might have something to say about that.
he only gave it 20 minutes, I think.
We did have,
We
we
could
did
make
have
Dustin,
instantaneous gridlock.
Yeah.
we could take Dustin to be the traffic cop down there, you know, like with the white
It was
gloves.
white
and all that.
gloves.
Yeah.
But NDOT's been, last year, I felt like they kind of had their minds made up. They're very open to discussions with us. They're very good to work with. So I appreciate that. And, you know, if you hear anything from your constituents about it, just pass it along. We'll do what we can. So,
There seems to be a lot more semis coming from the west instead of taking the bypass out by MJB. They're coming in and turning on 15. You know, right turn, but there seems to be a lot more semis than used to.
and the problem is there's no posted detour coming from the west to the east.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then like the ones that go around, they're coming north and they don't take the detour and then they turn right on Bristol and then go north on Montville. We can't stop them until they get north on Montville, so we end up driving through behind. I mean, it's just, it's difficult, but
Yeah.
I think the high visibility hopefully will slow some people down. I think it's gotten better in the last week than it started out.
Or are the no left turns? Is it 15 south and
15 south,
15
15 north, yeah.
the only thing I'd say is I got to the stoplight this morning at like, I don't know, 5:45. I was headed to Middlebury. There was a truck in front of me turning left to go north on Montville. Going north on 15. And in his defense, his or her defense, you really can't see that no left turn sign. It's up by the lights, it's back behind the things. NDOT needs to put a really big one right there at the stoplight.
Well, it's funny you say that, Jeff, because there was no, I asked to put the signs on the traffic standard so they can see them better, so
Yeah.
they found the smallest sign that I think they manufactured, it's about this big.
Yeah.
And they put it up there, so it's not really visible, but I'm
No.
looking at baby steps, they're at least they're listening and
Yeah,
so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, leave it to NDOT.
But also for the left turn on DeMontville to go north, if a truck's coming from the west going to the east straight on 120, there's no posted detour for that. Other
Right.
than there's no left turn and there's really no good place for them to go then. If they can't turn left there, they'd have to go all the way up to
13,
13 or take county roads around.
yeah,
So like I said, we're being kind of, I won't say lenient, but we're
yeah,
trying to
educate,
educate, yes.
Yeah.
So
okay,
other than that,
okay. Any questions for Steve?
No, I've noticed the officers in the morning, and it does seem to be helping with some of the erratic driving that was happening before the construction. Like seeing you guys like closer to the road and everything. I think traffic's getting better early in the morning.
and we are not neglecting North River Road either, so we're up there quite a bit too, so.
If I can comment on that, or expound. So yesterday, you know how you see somebody flagrantly doing something wrong and you say, I wish there was an officer. We were coming back from Elkhart to Bristol close to our house, double yellow line, obviously no passing. This truck flies by us. Chief Deputy Lundgren, who was headed home, he's off the clock, saw this happen and whipped around and pulled him over. So kudos to you, Dustin, for going above and beyond.
Nice.
I called him and told him about it, so.
Well, I will say to Marshal Preem, Chief Deputy Lundgren, Chief Cantz, there was a horrific accident this past weekend. Just want to publicly thank you, for your responsiveness. Our condolences to the family of the young lady that passed away. Horrible situation, but thank you, Chief Cantz and your staff, and gentleman over here to my left. Never an easy situation. So thank you again for all you do. All right. Next is privilege of the floor, otherwise known as public comment. Anybody in the room tonight like to make public comment? If so, please step up to the podium and state your name and address. Come on, Maxine.
Maxine Foster, 105, County Road 104. I have a question and a comment. My question is probably gonna be best directed to Mike. Out here on Elkhart Road, there are, when they're redoing that, as they are now, we're putting new sidewalks in on the south side.
I don't think sidewalks are included in this,
There's no sidewalks going to be.
not included in this project. Do you think they need to be replaced? Is that what you're saying?
No, I thought they were included. Because they are on. I'm
And
sorry, I don't know. how
we
many-
started this project 2 years ago, so it's been a while since I looked at the prints. I'll take a look.
Okay, because the road right behind that, is that St. Joseph?
Say Joe.
Yeah, it has sidewalks on the south side. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that-
I've walked the road, so I know it does.
Can't answer the question, I'll find out.
Well-
I'm sorry.
Okay, get on that.
You're not the first person I let
No,
down.
that my question in regards to the sidewalks is simply this: I was under the understanding that there are sidewalks going to be installed, but not in front of the last block, which would be the fire station. They were not putting sidewalks there. And I was confused as to why they would.
I would be curious too. Are there existing sidewalks there now? Remind me, there's not.
No, there's none in front of Harding's either.
There's some sidewalks on the south side of.
There's,
But
Rosemary's.
It goes
south
to
side,
Rosemary.
from Division Street to.
That's right, there's no sidewalks.
Apollo.
Yeah.
We were told by construction that they're gonna put it along Harding's, but not the fire station.
That's the reason they stripped out all that soil, for sidewalk there,
Okay,
yeah.
but not in front of the fire station? Why?
No,
There are sidewalks beyond the fire station.
yeah. What, it's a really good question, I don't know. Like I said, we drew these plans up like it was 2 years ago.
Long time ago.
I was,
I would love sidewalks there, because I've got guys that walk the block, and it would keep them out of traffic.
well, we can build sidewalks, whatever's
Yeah.
not built, we'll put it on our sidewalk.
Okay, because if there was, I thought they were putting sidewalks in front of the grocery store.
Yeah, that's what we were told by me.
And I know beyond, east of the station, I know the sidewalks, because I looked the other day, but.
Yeah.
So there should be some in front of the fire station, too, right?
So whatever is not built,
Mhm.
you want us to complete it. All right.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, you're gonna do that?
You're gonna do that.
Okay, thank you.
At some point, we will get that done.
Oh,
I got,
That's the best we can do.
they control my budget. Tell you.
we like sidewalks.
I got one brick.
They're all my friends. Okay, the other thing I want to talk to you about a little bit, and probably most of you are aware that our local public library is doing a lot of fundraising right now because that building was built, I think, about 50 years ago. And many things need to be replaced. I've kind of followed that along and spoke to a couple of people in regards to that. I'm just gonna give you some numbers quickly. I'm not gonna take up a lot of your time, but I believe the total repairs were in excess of $200,000. We're talking about new roof, new carpet, parking lot being resurfaced, blah, 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 blah. $116,000 has been raised. I want everyone to be aware that $29,000 is gonna replace all the carpet in the building was raised by our American Legion. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that was, to me, that choked me out. And then they got money from Elkhart Community, Foundation of Elkhart County, excuse me, Community Foundation of Elkhart County. 50,000 came from, almost 51,000 came from Bristol residents. That's great. That's awesome. I'm not gonna go on, like I said, bore you with a lot of numbers. One thing I found very interesting, though, they're going to, the roofing materials, or I think it was roofing materials, or anyway, some materials they're getting from Menards, and they're using the rebates, our 11% rebate, we all know what that is, right? From Menards to buy the leaf guards for the gutters. That's a smart move. I like that idea. They're using their money wise. What concerns me is that the businesses in Bristol have donated approximately, I think the number was $10,000 or $11,000. I am not talking about our small local businesses on Vistula Street. They've got all they can handle right now. I'm talking about the hundreds of factories that are in Bristol that we have given to, that we have put up with traffic, we have put up with extra people in town. Our police officers, our fire department have to take care of them. We've given them tax abatements. The library sent letters to many, if not all of the factories, the larger factories in Bristol, telling them what was going on, asking if they could have permission to come into that factory, that manufacturing facility, and talk to them, to tell them what we needed, and not one factory, not one manufacturing facility responded. Think about that. I don't know what kind of pressure can be put on them. I don't know what influence the town has with our manufacturers here in Bristol, but I think it's time that some of them stepped up to the plate to finish the job that we need done for our Bristol library. This library has come 180 degrees from what it was 15 and 20 years ago. They've always got something going on at the library. I don't know how they even bring some of those things up. It's phenomenal. It's just a wonderful facility for us to have here in this small community. And I think it's time that some of the people that come, and I want to be careful of the language I use, but some of these industries come and rape this little town day in and day out. They need to give back. That's my thoughts on that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Maxine.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, if not, I'll close privilege of the floor. Alex, anything tonight?
Nothing this evening. I anticipate in the next, either work session or the next council meeting, should have some pertinent updates for you on some pending matters that we have brewing. But nothing to share with you at this point.
Okay. Anybody have questions for Alex? Okay, if not, we'll go through council discussion items. Doug, anything?
I've got one thing tonight, and it's come up from the last couple of meetings that we had in March, and also some of the stuff I've seen on that purveyor of misinformation, disinformation, and hate, also known as social media. It's been alleged that we're on a take up here. When we make a decision, when we vote on something, that we're getting money under the table. I can assure you, none of us are taking money from anybody. If you still think that we are, you can go to indiana.gov, Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita, online, and file a complaint against a government official. I welcome anybody to do that if you still think that we're on the take. That's it.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it. Kathy?
Yes. I came to the council, I'm speaking as a resident at this point. Well, he told me I could do it here, but you want me to go up there?
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems. Yeah, I don't know. Optics.
Kathy Burke, 203 West Vistula Street, Bristol, Indiana, 46507. Okay, I came several meetings ago about the Homecoming Festival. And since, we found out that last year there was $11,000 given to the Bristol on the River for the Corn Dog Festival, I'm asking that possibly the town could donate something to the Homecoming Festival. It was brought up that someone wanted to know what we donate the festival committee to the town. They said Bristol on the River donated, and I have the list here, $7,000 into the town, which I have found out that that's not true. There's only $4,300 went locally. There was $100 went to LifeWise, which is out of Hillard, Ohio. There was $100 went to the Elkhart City County Treasurer for what, I don't know.
County parks.
County Parks.
They had
There was $100 given to the Indiana Special Olympics. There was $100 given to Cat Snip, which is a feral cat thing that's out of Goshen. There was another one out Goodwill, Indiana, Michiana, which is Elkhart, Gary, and Griffith, and Goshen, sorry. Plus on that same list, I think it was an error probably as you posted it, says Bristol on the River gave $1,000 to themselves. I didn't see that, whether I saw that right or not. There was $4,200 given to the hub, which is, locally here in Bristol. And there was a couple other items on their list, like $1,000 to ADEC. Well, they provided transportation. So to me, that's a service, not a donation. The same thing with the Bristol schools. It said cleanup, donated $100 for that. So actually, I came up with what came back to the town or in town out of that $7,000 was $4,300. And we do, as the Bristol Homecoming, give $1,500 to the town of Bristol every year for fireworks. I think I've mentioned it before, the town handles the fireworks part, the Homecoming Committee does not. But we do donate toward that. So I was looking for, we have also donated at one time, playground equipment in the park, I think the boat. And we've done that. We operate on a budget. We don't have the budget like Bristol on the River has. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We don't spend $60,000 on advertising. We're on a budget of $25,000 a year for a 3-day festival, not a 1 day, but a 3-day. And our donations come from the businesses. We send out a letter every year and they donate. We've lost Robert Weed. They usually donate $7,000 every year. We're not gonna get that this year. Last year was the first year that we actually did not come out even. We lost $1,000. Yes, we do make income from the carnival and from the vendors, but that pays for insurance and more permits than you, I care to mention. But anyway, I was just wondering if, you know, $11,000 was donated to Bristol on the river, and they spend that much money for advertising. I would like to see at least something given to the homecoming. We, like I said, we do donate $1,500 every year. If you guys would prefer that instead of we donate it to the town for the fireworks, if we give it to the hub, that's fine. But we do want to support more locally. And since I heard this about the library, we can also donate to the library too. So that's, I would like to see that possibly we could get at least $5,000. We do have community foundation grant that we get every year of $3,000. And that helps us with all these new insurances and stuff, but I will, that's my spiel. Thank you.
So I guess Kathy is in, are you asking for the donation to the
Bristol Homecoming.
Bristol Homecoming, so you can in turn donate it to organizations in town?
So that our donations would go to in town. Right now, it's not like you donate it to us and we're gonna just automatically give that.
Okay,
We would give what we could. I mean, like I said, it's $11,000 went to Bristol on the river, and the total donations that went in town was 4,300.
okay.
So that's why I was looking at maybe $5,000. Even less than that would be helpful, but compared to a one-day festival versus 3 days, was my thing. And the festival, and I will continue a little bit, the festival has been continuously going since 1883. It's known to be the oldest running town festival in the state of Indiana. And it's been the Watermelon Festival, the Harvest Festival, it's been, I can't tell you how many different names we've had, but anyway, I would hate to see it die for a lack of a few $1,000. I'm done.
I would say for a start, the 1,500 for fireworks, if the fireworks are a town thing, that's an easy one, I would think personally, that if the fireworks for the town, won't just eliminate that.
And take that off your plate. Just
When,
have the town pay for the fireworks completely.
when is your next meeting for the,
It's on a Monday.
Isn't it next Monday?
I think it's next Monday at the library.
before we make a decision on this, is it okay if I come to that meeting?
Oh, anybody can come
Because
to the
my
meeting.
biggest thing
Any
is,
of you would love to volunteer on the committee.
I just want to see, I mean, what can we do to help that we know that we're maximizing, like, the biggest thing with the Corn Dog Festival, that's brand new to Bristol and River, so advertising and everything just to get it going, I kind of understand. I just want to see what we can do that we're increasing what you guys can,
What we can do.
what you can do. Just if we give $5,000, what is it gonna do for contributions? What can it help with? I mean, the ADEC thing, if it's transportation, if it's $1,000 to ADEC, it's transportation. And it worked out by Bristol on the River. I mean, is that something that homecoming can do?
What we do is we rent golf carts and we transport people from the parking lots in town down to the festival.
And I
And-
think it's probably gonna, to Greg's point, I think it's gonna be a little bit different this year.
And
Because you're not.
we're still working that type of stuff out.
We've gotta figure all that out because we're gonna have more challenges with parking this year than we did last year.
We already figured out, thank you, Steve, and Dustin made a suggestion at the businessman's luncheon about the parade. And the parade is going to be coming down the same way it does, but instead it's gonna turn south on 15th to St. Joe Street and then go back. So they are the ones that suggested that. Thank you, guys. And they said that would be the easiest for them. So there's a lot of adjustments we're having to make this year. For example, the tractor pull. We always have on Elkhart Street. Now, I was under the impression Elkhart Street was gonna be done last year. And I went down to Niblock's office to ask about how long that has to set. We do not want to do damage to anything that's done for a tractor pull. And so that's a question we have to ask again, and if that happens, we just relocate it to across, to the side of the fire department or something. There's a lot of adjustments we have to make this year because of this out here.
Through the bay.
Hey, we could do it through the bay, that would be cool. We could schedule that as the rain spot.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Okay.
But I mean, yes, anybody is welcome to the meetings, they're always at the library. And I think it's the second, third Monday. I don't know, you're asking me a question, I don't know.
I would just like, my biggest thing is, it's only
Sure.
$5,000, but if it's a way that we can maximize what goes back to the town, like if there's ways we can constructively do it to add to the event,
Sure.
I'm just curious.
I mean, like it costs us $2,100 to rent golf carts to do transportation. Here's the whole budget.
Well, to that point though, rather than rent golf carts, would it be better to pay ADEC? It's $1,000 for one day event. Would it be better to donate 3,000 to ADEC to help do transportation with the system they were doing?
It's a possibility.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is instead of giving it to some company we don't know, we can give it to
Yeah,
ADEC,
it goes to
keep it
Smiles.
local, there's $3,000 right there.
Right,
That's what I mean, if we can just constructively look at it the next meeting, and then
that'd be great.
give you an
That'd be
answer.
great.
If you guys are okay with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll give it that.
we're
Yeah.
looking at all sorts of things. We've got, the free children's area that we do is our main issue. We want to really keep that going. There are a lot of families in town that, they want to have a good time, but they can't afford to do different things, carnival things and all of that stuff. So we do provide, I mean, it costs almost 3,000 for balloon twisters and face painters and for that many days. And we've got an issue right now that we're trying to figure out because there was a church that was handling the free children's area, and they've got a new pastor that doesn't want to do it. So we're looking into, I think I've got a good person to do it that has done it before at a different church. So that's what so like I said, we've got all sorts of issues going on right now. And we've got like 8 people on the committee. So anybody that wants to volunteer to be on the committee, please do it. I mean, we can use all the help we can to continue this to grow for our town. And like I said, it is a historical thing here in town. Anyway, I'm done,
Okay,
unless you have any more questions.
no, I think we're good. Greg, anything?
Nothing.
And I don't have anything tonight. Other than, again, thank you, Chief Cantz. Marshal Cream and Chief Deputy London, thank you for all you guys do. Next meetings, we don't have it on the agenda. When is our next meeting?
Work session is April
2
14th
weeks from now.
2 weeks.
with the council meeting on the 16th. Those are the right dates, that Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay, all right. Nothing else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Motion by Greg, second by Doug, all in favor?